Delighted to be here. And I would like to start with a question and a show of hands, if I may. How many of you feel your job is an endless series of putting out small fires, whether that's dealing with people, tracking vehicles, dealing with compliance, or maybe trying to handle rising costs? Quick show of hands, how many people? About half. Thank you, thank you. Congratulations for those of you who didn't put your hands up. You're doing a great job. For me, fleet management is complex. It really is. And over the last 25 years, technology has improved significantly. And the next big revolution isn't going to be a complex supply chain system. It's going to be a tool that helps you handle complexity and enables you to focus on your strategic goals. Today, I'd like to focus on AI, not a futuristic concept, but a practical tool you can use right now, today, to mitigate risks, to reduce your costs, and ideally, generate new revenues as well. As Aaron said, I'm Adrian West. I'm VP at OneAdvanced. I'm delighted to just introduce you and just briefly, before we dive into the actual presentation, touch upon who OneAdvanced are. We're very proud to be a British company. Our mission is to power the world of work. We have over 500 logistics customers, mainly in the UK, and delighted that many of you in this audience today are. We have 25 years of experience of your industry, so we do understand the challenges you face today. And our services and solutions are broad. We do things like time and attendance, payroll, HR, financials, and maybe unsurprisingly, AI as well. AI embedded in the products we sell, and also as a standalone solution. And some of the things we do for our customers is helping them save money, like £9 million per year on improving accuracy on timesheets. So I thought I'd start with a fairly basic question, because there's a lot of hype around AI. And what is it? Lots of definitions out here, but the one I like is about computers that perform tasks that usually require human intelligence. And that could be problem solving. It could be looking at decision making. It's not necessarily about physical robots running around a warehouse. It's about giving you a practical tool that helps you do your job better. And AI's been around an awfully long time. You might not know that it actually came about, the term, back in the 1950s, where Alan Turing talked about posing a question: can computers and machines think? And since then, there's been a lot of activity. You may have heard something called machine learning. And a lot of this jargon and terminology, wouldn't worry too much about it, but the concept's really clear. It's about algorithms that could learn from data. And many of you may remember when IBM created a computer that beat Garry Kasparov, the world and grandmaster chess champion. That's quite incredible. Then you've got something called deep learning, and that's sort of a bit like machine learning on steroids. And it's a bit like, give you an example, on your phone. It has lots of uses AI to use data points on your face to unlock the phone. But the really interesting stuff has happened more recently. Generative AI, or Gen AI, often heard. What's Gen AI? It's when a computer generates content that's brand new. It's never been created before. It could be text, it could be assignments, it could be poems, it could be music, it could be videos, it could be anything. And many of you may have come across something called large language models. And that's really where you get AI, and you're interacting with it, and it's like human-like text that comes back to you. It feels like you're dealing with a real person. And a lot of you might have used AI at home, ChatGPT being one, or Copilot from Microsoft, or Gemini from Google, or OneAdvanced AI. There's a whole range of different technologies out there. And the future, we think, is going to be called artificial general intelligence. And what's that? That's when technology and computers can do any task, any intellectual task a human can do. Some people say that's going to be a few years away. Some people say it's never going to happen. We just don't know. But bringing it back to this room and how you can use AI from today onwards, I think there's 3 key reasons and ways we can use AI. Number 1, it's about increasing employee productivity. A lot of people today are doing mundane, routine tasks day in, day out. You can use AI to automate that and free up their time to do things that are adding far more value to your business. You can improve operational efficiency. AI can analyze vast amounts of data real time to give you insights for you to actually improve the operations of your business. That could be AI route optimization or managing your fuel. And finally, the one that often gets overlooked, and probably my favorite, is looking at about innovative new products and solutions. AI is great at giving you ideas, how you can generate new business from your existing operations. But AI isn't all plain sailing. It really isn't, and it's not a silver bullet either. What we're seeing in the market is companies are saying we have to invest in AI to stay competitive. But part of the problem is a lot of workers coming to work are using unauthorized AI tools like ChatGPT in the work environment. And you kind of go, why? Well, it's free, why don't I use it? The problem being is the data is not secure. If you upload documents into a general ChatGPT, what you tend to find is that information you've uploaded can be used to train the AI. It's a bit like posting your company information on the internet, and I don't think we would do that. So you've got to be really careful about how you use AI in the work environment. And what customers are saying to us on a frequent basis is that they want to use AI, but in their workflows, how they operate today, not as something they have to plug into, but it's a fundamental part of the DNA of your operations. And they want it affordable and secure, and importantly, understanding your industry, understands your data and what we call sector brains. And a bit similar, it's interesting to see the last presentation. We've done a survey ourselves. Each year, we interview around about 6,000 people in Britain, from board level, mid-management to people on the shop floor. And we interviewed a large number of operators as well about AI. And here's some of the things we found. Nearly half were planning to use AI in some capacity, or already using AI in some capacity, and 34% are going to use AI in the next 12 months. So well done if you are part of that group. However, there's a disconnect. What we are seeing is nearly a third are using AI that's not joined up, it's not authorized, and it does pose your organization a risk. And 25% of operators have tried and failed with an AI project in the last 12 months. So what does this tell us? I think there's something really clear here. If you get your AI strategy right and you execute it well, there is a huge first mover advantage. And the journey of AI isn't just a straightforward line, a starting point, and then hopefully you may have the light bulb moment, that eureka, wow, I can see what it does for me in my job. And hopefully when I do a bit of a demonstration, some of you might have that light bulb moment. Then it's often followed by a bit of a trough of disillusionment, that reality bump, reality check, where you go, actually, it's not doing what I really want. I don't quite know what questions to ask to get the answers I need. And there's concerns about security. But once you overcome that, and it's a learning process for all of us, because AI is new. If you build momentum, accelerate progress, the art of the possible, well, amazing. And what I thought I'd do is share with you an example how you might be able to use AI. This is OneAdvanced AI. Very similar to ChatGPT or Gemini, something similar that you've seen before. But this is really important that it's secure. So if you put data into this, we can't even see it ourselves. It's secure. Your data doesn't get trained another AI. And what I thought I was going to do here is I already typed in a prompt for save some time. And what I said here is that I'm a fleet manager of a logistics and distribution company with 430 staff and 130 fleet vehicles based in Bradford. By the way, that's a real member who might be in the room as well. The next bit I made up. Said, I need some help balancing short-term results with long-term growth. I want to reduce our costs across the whole supply chain. I'd like to achieve 20% cost reduction in 2027 and a 30% in 2028. In addition, I'd like recommendations on how I can improve our profits by 15% next year, but I don't want to make any redundancies. Please provide indicative cost savings or projected revenues. This could be a question that relates to your business. I hope it does. So what happened? I just put that into it. And it came up with quite detailed. 3 key areas it came out. Now, you may already be doing some of these. Some of them, it might not be. Maybe this is your light bulb moment. It certainly can do and recommended areas to focus on, like fuel efficiency, operational optimization, technology adoption. I'm not going to go through the whole lot. There's too much, but I'm just going to pick out a couple. 1, it talks about driver training and incentives. And here it's saying, put in place an eco-driving incentive program to encourage smooth acceleration, anticipating traffic, using cruise control effectively. And on this particular case, with the 130 fleet vehicles, predicted there could be a cost saving of £520,000 per annum. You can dive into the calculations, how this has come up with those figures, and tweak them accordingly to your business. The other one here, going to optimization. There's one about empty leg minimization, talking about reducing the number of empty return trips. On this, with 130 fleet vehicles, approximately 32,000 trips per year, of which 25 are empty. If you could monetize half of those empty trips, it could deliver you £1 million per year revenue. Just an idea. And it goes on. If we have a look at talking about technology adoption here, they're talking about automated admin processes. And maybe it's no surprise that I point out where you can use software to fix some problems. And here, what we're talking about is looking at invoicing, payroll, dispatching, which is automating those tasks. And on this particular example, with 430 people in the business, roughly 30 of them work in admin, we could save 15% of their time with automated software. Clearly, you would need to buy the software, but that's £135,000 a year. And again, you can dive into more detail as if of some interest. What I wanted to do now was just run a short video, 2 minutes or so, that really brings it to life, what I've just discussed, and it's using an operator's real data to look at how they can help drive productivity, improve safety as well.
In the world of fleet operations, safety and fuel efficiency are critical to controlling costs and keeping drivers safe. Analysing telematics data can be slow and complex, especially when you're managing hundreds of drivers and vehicles. Luckily, this fleet operator uses OneAdvanced AI. With data kept secure, hosted only in the UK, and never used to train models, they can gain insights quickly while staying fully GDPR compliant. Dave has been asked by his manager to provide some analysis of a recently downloaded set of telematics data, using a file containing trip summaries for 20 drivers and 15 vehicles. Each record includes distance travelled, fuel used, incidents of harsh acceleration and braking, idle time, and some safety and economy scores. Dave uploads the data file and enters the prompt. Analyse this telematics trip data for 20 drivers. Higher eco safety scores equals better, lower equals worse. Focus on harsh braking, acceleration, and idle time too. Identify the 3 poorest drivers and compare their averages to fleet-wide averages. Eco score, safety score, harsh events, idle percentage. Summarise key behaviour trends and give 2 to 3 coaching tips for each driver in a concise table. Within seconds, OneAdvanced AI highlights the 3 drivers with the lowest economy and safety scores, comparing their performance to the fleet average and summarising why they perform poorly, such as frequent harsh braking or excessive idling. It also provides clear coaching recommendations for how they can improve. Next, the operator enters the second prompt. Analyse the telemetrics data to predict which vehicles are most likely to develop worsening fuel efficiency or require maintenance next month. Base this on trends in fuel per kilometre compared to the fleet average over time. Rank the top 3 vehicles at risk and explain why. OneAdvanced AI reviews historical fuel usage trends across all vehicles and flags 2 with declining efficiency, likely due to maintenance issues. The result? Early insight to prevent breakdowns, reduce fuel costs, and keep the fleet on the road. With OneAdvanced AI, fleet managers can analyse driver behaviour and vehicle performance in seconds, identify risks before they become costly problems, and do it all within a secure UK-hosted environment that remains private and compliant with GDPR. Discover more about the responsible use of AI at oneadvanced.com/AI.
Great. I know I'm biased, but I think that's awesome. And you don't have to be an AI guru to put those prompts into an AI engine. So to wrap up, I truly believe AI is a game changer for our industry. But importantly, it's all about strategy first. You've got to get the business vision and plan, technology second. It's really important that you do have a clear AI strategy, otherwise there is a real risk you will be left behind. And please embrace the positive benefits of AI. It does come with concerns, rightly so, about job displacements, for example, but the potential is massive. Please, please, please recognize the data security and data sovereignty. Where is your data stored and how is it being used? And I'll just finish off with, think big, think grand, think massive. Start small, scale quickly, and please stay secure.